Hello, group. Going to talk a little bit about the option game out of pistol, the midline play we call mid cut, which is a midline and a cutback or counter cut play. Um, Straight option, triple, and then outside veer. All of it out of pistol. We'll talk about where the landing points are in those, and we'll give you some pictures of what we think is videos, pictures that hopefully help describe these plays in a pretty good manner. Um, here's my contact information. My name is Fred Bouchard. I'm the head football coach at MICDS. Actually, next year, we're located in St. Louis right now. My wife and I are going to move back to Kansas City. Spring Hill is a suburb of Kansas City on the Kansas side, and it's where our kids and grandkids are. So we're going to go back and just be a little closer to them. So my best contact right now, email is fbouchard@micds.org. And this is my cell phone number, which will come with me. So when my email is no longer effective, you certainly can text me or call me on my cell. All right, let's get into this a little bit. This is just a little bit of my background information. I shared it with my other clip. I've been 25 years as a head high school coach at these 4 locations. Spring Hill will be my 5th. 251 and 57 lifetime high school record. 15 years as a building principal. I was an assistant superintendent for a stretch. We've been fortunate enough to be in 24 straight postseasons. And then you can see some pretty decent postseason success. The most successful thing I've done is I railroaded this gal right here into marrying me 37 years ago. So almost 38 this summer. So perfect coach's wife. I always say that. She doesn't complain about playing time. And she doesn't question my play calls. So gotta love that. All right. We're talking pistol, shotgun, midline, mid-cut option, outside veer. And so we'll go through this process with these and show you some video. We consider ourselves an option team. This was really going to be vitally important if we wanted to move forward as a pistol team. So we were an under center option team for a long time. And then we moved back to pistol in some ways to probably enhance our Q run game in some ways, maybe enhance our passing game. And the quarterbacks we were getting, they weren't very comfortable under center because I think we're training a lot of youth quarterbacks to line up in shotgun and pistol. We call pistol 4 yards, just for your context. But we have successfully implemented a variation of midline, of inside option, outside veer, all from pistol. And then we've really worked hard to pay extra attention to the landmarks footwork from the quarterback and the running back. So we'll tell you how we got there. All right. Actually, the origin of this came back as like Mr. Magoo just tripping into something that's pretty cool. So we accidentally did this when our quarterback, he was in 2007, he was our first team All-State quarterback. He jacked up his wrist pretty bad on week 2 of the season and honestly couldn't get under center and take that snap. He was just jamming his wrist, and he had a brace on. He was able to play as a dynamic dang player. And so I said, well, what about stepping back? He goes, I can do that. I can kick a shotgun. And we said, well, I don't want necessarily shotgun, but pistol would work. So we stepped back, and even our defense, when he stepped back in 2007, I get it, 17, 18 years ago, that all of a sudden the defense kind of widened. Like, okay, you're in pistol. You're not under center anymore. And they spread themselves a little bit wider thinking, hey, they got something. And it just created these natural alleys. He did it for 3 weeks. We kind of were in pistol, lived in that. And I'm telling you, every opponent we played did the same thing, what our defense did, which was kind of create these natural running alleys. Now that it's much more the norm. I mean, it's kind of rare that you see a team that's under center as so much as you see a pistol team. So you get a chance to see those folks a lot more. So anyway, we saw the defense expand and create larger running alleys. The rethink on the footwork was really simple. We were just saying, how do we get the quarterback to a really similar spot that he was under center in all our plays? So if we're running midline, how do we get him to that spot? So, in midline, a quarterback, if these are my feet, I'm going to step back and I'm going to hinge. Well, I'm already a yard behind the ball, all right? And when I step back and hinge, I end up being about 2.5 yards behind the ball because we step back, we hinge, we get the ball deep. 2.5, not quite through. Well, if we're at 4 yards and I step forward and I tell our guys on this, you should cross over, step forward. You're stepping forward to 3. Your slight crossover is at 2.5, hands are back. Now we're kind of similar in that. We did the same thing for option. We did the same thing for Veer. How do we get to pretty close to the same angle? Not perfect, but not bad. All right, it gets us pretty close. Let's give you we're going to show you animated pictures of midline and mid-cut, and then we're going to show you the pictures. And some of the plays are to the left. It says both of them to the left. They're actually some to the left, some to the right. So here we go, midline. All right, so when we run straight midline, what you're going to see here is you're going to see this guard is going to release inside 100% of the time, all the time. That guard is going to release inside. All right, this is a double combo that's occurring here. This guy's guard's cutting him off. He's punching a hand, lifting the linebacker. When the guard releases inside, he's lifting straight up. If this linebacker closes, he's looking to collide with him. He figures that guy's taken care of. If this guy doesn't, he chases. He's not going to chase him. He's going to come straight up and he's going to wall off this guy who may be chasing over here. All right, running quarterback clears, so he brings his feet here. Running back gangs and gathers space and hits it north and south. We're reading this tackle who's going to close probably, we find 80, 90% of the time. This running back, when we're 2 back, he's wrapping himself around here, and he's got this linebacker who may at some point read and try to close here. That running back has this hit. You're going to see a picture where he didn't do that. And that linebacker, it still ended up being like a 12-yard gain for our quarterback. But if our running back hits him, it's a lot better game. We turn out here and we turn out here. This pry open block, I think, is the most important one that a guy can make. All right, so here goes. Boom. There's the animation. Running north to south, there's the block. I'm going to show that to you again. Boom. And there's that block. And the timing of that block is that running back doesn't have to light up. He just has to occupy that guy because it really, the quarterback is coming off him, and in less than a second, it's just bang, bang, which is exactly how you want that to run. So I'm going to take you through videos here and see what these look like. They're not exceptional. There's a little bit of ugliness to some of these, and then some of them look the part. So bear with me as we, most of them have a level of success, but sometimes it's just a good athlete making a really good play. Hope you guys at your quarterback spot, running backs, you have good athletes also, as we all should. So here's the first one. So this is going to be midline. Now, they're going to get a blitz on this, so it's not going to be as clean a read. I think the quarterback ends up being a little bit confused and probably could have given the ball here. But we see where he's running downhill, and the path of the running back wasn't as tight as I would have liked, but we end up scoring a touchdown on it. You'll see this on the version from the side. So again, it goes back to an athlete reading that and maybe misreading that and just them not producing a very good match. This is week 1 a couple years ago, and just sometimes week 1 looks like week 1, but you can see he dips underneath, he dives at the end, and they give him a touchdown. All right. This is one where there's a little bit of volume to it. Please be wary of that. But you'll get a chance to see if the running back makes his block. So I'm going to show that to you again, because it's an if the running back makes his block play, this gentleman makes his play. So if he wraps this tighter and blocks this guy, our quarterback's off running and he's here at this level. And if he's at that level, that athlete may be scoring a touchdown. So one of your running backs should have been engaged in that linebacker. And the more you look at it, the more you realize, boy, that really is an important block.
If you really want a chance of winning.
Again, you get a couple of commentary on this. I'll back it on a little bit. Now you see the midline, he bounces that outside, and then he ends up picking up a pretty good game. Now, I do want to give a little bit of credit to the opponent we're playing here, because this dude right here plays at Iowa now. He's a good football player. And so as he gets outside, we didn't get in that hole. 55 didn't quite block him exactly as we drew it up, but we still have a a 14, 15 yard play out of that play.